When you understand that nothing in life is personal, then that's it. You've won. It's game over for a huge amount of your suffering. We take so many things personally, don't we? The way our partner just said something to us, or the way that they didn't say something properly to us, could both be interpreted as some kind of personal attack, right? Especially on a bad day. Ever get a text without enough happy emojis on there and you spend ages trying to figure out what the person's really trying to say? It can't be what they just wrote, right? Now, here's a big secret for you. When you figure out that nothing is personal, and in fact, the nature of reality itself is impersonal, then you are free. Then you're no longer a victim, and people also are not going to be able to manipulate you like they normally do. Now, before you listen further, I've got to give you a disclaimer. This isn't soft, spiritual, self-help stuff that's going to make you feel nice and warm and tingly on the inside. If you are easily offended, please look away. It's not for you. But if you want the liberating truth, then watch to the end, because this could change your life. Now, I'm going to admit that all that self-help stuff, mantras, affirmations, none of that shit really worked for me very well. So instead, I spent years looking into the nature of reality and found out how to get out of the matrix. Let me share with you what will work, and not what worked for me, like it's some kind of opinion that I don't want to state too strongly in case I might offend somebody. I'm talking about the rules of the universe. And that, by the way, is an example of impersonality. So in this short video, I'm going to do my best to explain to you how to get to this point of enormous freedom, relief, and self-trust. So there was this one time a couple of years ago, it was actually quite unpleasant. My oldest son spent an hour, maybe 2 hours on the phone attacking me. I just found out that he didn't want to see me the coming Christmas. So I called him up to find out what was going on. And basically he let me have it. He really gave it full blast for 2 hours. And it was hard. It was very unpleasant. But I could see very clearly that it was just projection. It was things that he was working on in himself, and he had actually turned that outwards onto me. It was very clear to me it wasn't personal. Even though he was saying stuff like, "You're a bad father, you're a terrible father," I knew it wasn't personal. Now, of course, it could have easily escalated into a big blame match and got really out of hand. But I really stayed calm the whole time. I told him it was his projection, and I just gave it back to him. Now, years later, he did actually apologize. He brought it up and apologized for it. Although he's angry again at me now, so I think he's probably forgotten. Now, I'm laughing about it a bit because I see the irony in the situation. But of course, it's painful when the people that are close to us, the people that we love, attack us like this. But I thought it was a good example to bring up. So how was it that I was able to be so unmoved? Well, the answer actually is quite simple. It's because I know myself. So when he was attacking me, when he was gaslighting me, what he was doing was really trying to find any of my weak spots. So anything he thought I might be vulnerable, he stuck his finger in, and that was his attack point. But because I spent years really doing all the work that I could, really looking at myself and knowing myself, I knew that it wasn't true. So it didn't touch me. Now you might say, okay, Justin, that's very easy for you to say, but how do you do it then? How do we get to that point? Because so many things that happen in my life really are painful. So I'm going to explain firstly the whole mechanism. So why we take things personally, and I'm going to explain how you can stop doing that and get to the other side of all this horrible suffering. Well, let me explain the mechanism, then I think it's going to be a lot clearer. So I'll explain why we take things so personally, and then I'll explain how you can get to the other side of it. The real reason that we take ourselves so personally is because we spent a lifetime creating a false persona. So this story of you, right, your personal history, your opinions, your likes and dislikes, your traumas, and all the things that you feel make up you are all a story. They're not really real. They're just points in time and space that we bring together, that we repeat in this continuous narrative that create the illusion of this individual, this separate individual. So the story of Justin with his personal history It's just a story. It feels real because we spend so much time thinking about it, talking about ourselves, and then interacting with other people's personal stories. It feels like a very comfortable set of clothing. But really, when you stop any aspect of this self, slow it down and look at it, you'll find out that none of it is true. The past is in the past and it's dead. The future hasn't arrived yet. And all of these opinions and personal dialogues are just the movement of the mind. And because we spend so much time interacting with this, it feels real. But it's not real. It's not true. It's simply a recycled story. And a part of you knows this. Deep, deep, deep down, there's an authentic being within you that knows that this is all surface level personality and that it's not real. So you also feel vulnerable because you know at a very, very deep level that it's not real and it's not true. You're always living in the fear of being found out, being discovered. You're living in the fear of that knock on the door. So this deep inherent insecurity that we all have, right? All people suffer from this, make us vulnerable. And it also makes us needy for external affirmation. Because we know these things are not true, we also need a lot of external affirmation from those people around us. So from this inherently insecure place, we will always take things personally. It's not your fault. It's the nature of the creation of ego and the creation of the separate self. Okay, clear so far? So how do we get past this? Firstly, really important, be okay with yourself. Be okay, totally accepting with who you are, the person that you are, and your personal history. If you've created karma, like we all have, let's be real, try and fix it. If you're no longer able to fix it, drop it, unless you want to spend the rest of your life feeling guilt and shame. Stop apologizing because you are needed. So let us be real. We're all beings of shadow. So you, me, we've all done shit. We've all fucked up. We've all made mistakes. We're all doing the best that we can. This planet, this life is challenging. It's messy. Everyone's going to screw up, but we've got to pick ourselves up and get on with it. There's no point continuously beating ourselves up for the things that have happened. Try and fix it, move on. But Justin, surely I need more therapy. I've just found a new voice shadow dialogue coach. That's going to help me, right? No, cut it out. And this is the part that's going to offend people. All of this self-help stuff is just narcissism. It keeps you trapped within your self-image. And this is important. It keeps you in endless victimhood. So maybe it's time to stop the endless therapy and the endless self-help. Yes, don't repress anything, but don't start identifying with your past or your trauma either, right? Just release it and move on. Because otherwise you're just going to create another identity as the wounded spiritual seeker. Good. Is it starting to get a bit clearer why we all get so offended so easily, why we take things personally? In this last part, I'm going to explain how you can move past all of this for once and for all. So it's not therapy, it's not self-help, not affirmations, not vision board. It's none of that stuff. You don't have to work harder. You don't have to crush it. It's a very different movement. We're talking about really spending time to look into the nature of ourself. And there you're going to discover the rules of reality. You're actually going to discover the blueprint, the operating system by which our matrix works. So what I want you to do is start spending time looking at yourself, observing yourself, studying yourself. But you have to do it without trying to change anything and without judging yourself, right? This is really important because most of the stuff that's going around, all the tips by all the big influencers and everything you see on Instagram, it's all about doing something. Here, you're going to spend time observing yourself. So you just put a camera up here and make a kind of documentary of yourself in the wild. And again, without trying to change anything and without any judgment. This is so important, no judgment. So you look and you observe yourself in all kinds of situations with your loved one, with your family, with your colleagues, buying something in the shops, wherever you are, just look, but really look. And then you're going to see all of your tricks, all of your mechanisms, all of your self-protective devices. You're going to see how you manipulate people, how you get things done, how you present yourself in a certain way, right? Do you present yourself as someone who's in control of a situation? Or do you present yourself as somebody who is easily confused? Oh, I didn't know. I thought I sent the email, right? All these personas will come to light, and you'll see different masks, different mechanisms. You'll see all kinds of things that you don't like the look of. You go, ooh, that's pretty nasty. That's pretty icky. That's a bit dark. Don't judge. This is really important. You just look. Now, my experience was that it was difficult to bear some of the things that I did, the way that I was aggressive, the way that I was manipulative. Didn't like what I saw, but I stuck with it. So you watch. This is why non-judgment is essential. And you do this over a long period of time. So you've got to be prepared to do this for a while. If you are an overweight person, you do not expect to go to the gym and suddenly have a six-pack and suddenly be able to do 20 pull-ups. You know that this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. But it is extremely, extremely liberating, because what you're going to find out is why you do the things that you do. And then you will discover, as you sink to the bottom of all these things, because you're not judging and simply observing, you will discover where it all comes from. And you'll find out that so much of your mechanisms are all based on false ideas about the world, about other people, how people don't love you or they're going to leave you. It's all founded in fear-based stories. It's not real. And because you're able to go right to the root of it, you'll see its inception point, you'll see its beginning point, and you'll see, oh, that's linked to this, oh, that's linked to that. My experience was, when I saw how I was being aggressive to my children, and I didn't judge myself, I just looked at it, that I saw where it came from, and gosh, I realized, hallelujah, I'm channeling my mother, oh my God. But I saw where it came from, and the crazy thing was I didn't even have to try and change it. It was a habit that just left. It was very, very strange. So what this brings you to is an incredibly deep level of self-acceptance. How about that? Non-judgment and observation brings you to self-acceptance. Wow, how about that? I thought it was about special to-do lists or special techniques. It's not. So this is what I mean about discovering how the world works, how the universe works. When you actually spend time, you're going to be able to discover that you can dig into the nature of reality itself. And there, you're going to start to have a totally different relationship to life and a totally different relationship to self. It's going to amaze you. Okay, so why does this help you understand that the nature of reality is impersonal? Because what you discover when you do this work for a long period of time consistently is that the person that you are is whole and good and always was so. Yes, stuff happened historically, stuff happened to the level of personality, but your true being, your authentic being was always good and whole. And this gives you access to very deep and a very real level of self-acceptance. So this is the opposite of our constant creation of the separate sense of self at the level of the personality. It's how we come home to our real self. And your real self, your true self, is good and whole, uninjured, unharmed by anything that happened in space and time. It's your authentic self. It's actually the part of you that you were born as. And this process will bring you home to that. So you can actually shift the level of your being over time from this insecure personality level self to your fundamental authentic self, right? This liberates you. So yes, it allows you to move beyond taking things personally. But even more than that, it gives you access to your authentic being. And that part of you is and was always free. Okay, thank you very much for listening. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to be notified when our Escape the Matrix community launches, check out the link below and make sure you're registered.